Hey friends, we were trying to bring you some Krispy Kreme donuts, and although these don't make the Krispy Kreme cut, they are still absolutely worth the try and are still extremely delicious, so definitely give them a shot.
In reality, these actually tasted more like beignets than they did donuts, and even the next day I put some jelly on them and they were so good. So although you are looking at a donut recipe, I wouldn't expect donut if you do end up making these, but either way they are still going to be super delicious. So we're going to start by taking our warm water and putting that in a bowl, and to that we're going to evenly sprinkle on our yeast. Now you're going to want to let that rest for about 3 to 5 minutes. As you see, I like to take a dance break while I'm waiting for that to happen. And then once it rests, you're going to go in and add your milk. Make sure your milk is warm, at least room temp as well. Your sugar, your salt, your eggs, and your butter. And the butter should also be melted. Then you're going to give that a good whisk. Make sure that your sugar is fully dissolved before moving on to the next step. So then we're going to take another bowl and we're going to spray it with our cooking spray. This just makes sure that the dough doesn't stick to it, because this is what we're going to put the dough in to rise. This is a very tacky dough, so just be aware of that, which is why we want to give, a good spray to all of our surfaces, flour them all really well, because otherwise your dough will kind of just get everywhere. So then you take half the dough, put it into your wet ingredient bowl, make sure that all gets really well mixed in before going in with the other half of your flour and getting that all mixed in, making sure there are no lumps and you just have one solid dough, or not solid, but it is going to be very tacky and very sticky, but making sure that you don't have any clumps of raw flour in there. And then I like to go in with a damp paper towel, put that over the bowl, place a dark towel over that, and then put it to the side to let it rest until it doubles in size, which should take about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. Then we're going to turn our dough out onto a well-floured surface, and as you see, I am sprinkling flour on top, and then I do flour the rolling pin just to make sure that nothing really sticks to it, since again this is a tacky dough. And while you're rolling this out, you can get your oil on the stove, and you're going to want that to be at 350 for frying the donuts. So once you have your dough rolled out, I like to take just a couple cups and like a cup and a shot glass to make those donut holes. As you're gonna see soon though, the structure of them really did kind of fall apart. I do think that I should have let them rise a little bit longer on the second rise, because the second rise, we probably did about 20 to 25 minutes, and it could have gone probably about 45 minutes to an hour. But you cut your dough balls into shape, and while you're waiting on that second rise and for your oil to heat up, you can go in and make your frosting. So the frosting is going to be butter, powdered sugar, vanilla, and evaporated milk. And then you're going to mix that all together until it forms a glaze. If you give it a taste, you'll be able to tell that it's sweet, but it's not too sweet. It becomes this really light glaze on the donuts themselves, and you just give it a good mix until all of the powdered sugar has dissolved into there and it's looking very smooth. Then once your oil is heated up, you can go ahead and take those donuts and plop them on in. At 350, they probably only take about 60 to 90 seconds per side before taking them out, draining them, and topping them with your glaze, as well as a little bit of powdered sugar. Now again, these shapes didn't come out very well, I think because we didn't let them rise enough, so they weren't too sturdy, and also because this dough is super tacky, but I promise you they taste absolutely incredible. If you happen to give this recipe a try, please be sure to let me know what you think in the comments, and as always, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe, and follow along on our social channels if you want to see other recipes, as well as things we post during the week. See you next time.